So hello and welcome back to Go Again Gaming, and this is going to be a new series here on the channel called Great Mail Day, starring Seb, Andres, in the Discord. How's it going?
Doing fine, mate. You?
Yeah, not bad. It's going to be good stuff. I mean, this series is inspired by, you know, a lot of us are in group chats and Discords and stuff, and a lot of people sometimes post in those chats and those Discords, oh, I had a great mail day today, and they take a picture of all of their pickups that they've got. And sometimes, well, most of the time with the circles that we're involved in, mainly it's flesh and blood cards most of the time. So that was inspired by that a little bit. But also I watch a channel, I really enjoy a channel called Metal Jesus Rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he does like a great mail, not a great mail day, sorry, like a pickups video every so often with his mate Reggie. And that is another thing that really inspired me to just do this on like a tabletop basis, but also games and other sort of video games and that as well. Just games in general, really.
Yep.
And I thought, what better way to do that, because you actually picked up a few things from England when you were visiting for the calling.
Yeah, I did.
And I was just like, maybe we can just make this a bit of a thing going forward, because I do enjoy those pickup videos, and there's always stuff that us as geeks and nerds will come into possession of, you know, from picking things up or ordering things. So yeah, I've got a few things. Sadly, none of it is flesh and blood related, but as I mentioned before on Go Again Gaming, it's going to change a little bit with regards to what's coming, a bit more chaotic, a bit more sort of random stuff on the channel. So thanks for joining me, first of all.
My pleasure.
Do you want to kick it off with a random thing that you've got so far? You want to kick it off first?
Someone will change my cam.
Yeah. Andres has got a better setup than me. Look, you can go with the top down.
Yeah, because I decided to do it very budgetly and managed to get some stuff together.
Yeah.
But I think your mic quality is a lot better than mine, so...
That's all good. We'll sort it out.
Yeah, so one of the... Oh, is it reversed? No, I need to fix it.
No, it's fine. On your Discord, it will show as reverse, but on my side, it's fine.
Ah, okay. Great.
Yeah.
So one of the things I picked up, and it's actually a Japanese-only version of Final Fantasy III for the PSP.
Oh yeah.
Which is finally, funnily enough, a complete remake of the game.
Right.
It was brought at the Super Nintendo or the regular Nintendo console.
Mhm.
It was brought exclusively only in Japan.
Oh wow.
For the PSP.
Yeah.
But it's the only PSP Final Fantasy game that has English support.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because like obviously Final Fantasy games, if it's only a Japanese exclusive, it does have English subtitles and stuff as well, does it? An English mode as such.
Yeah, you can put it into English mode if your PSP is in English mode. So it's one of the strangest things I ever saw.
Yeah.
But that's how Japan works from time to time.
Yeah, definitely. Sweet. So Final Fantasy 3 for PSP.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start, actually, because I actually do have some other Final Fantasy-esque things. And another thing I want to shout out as well is that I went on to Big Boss Book Club's podcast, also known as Tom, in the Go Again Gaming Discord. The Discord link's in the description box below. It's where Big Boss Book Club is, as well as Andres hangs out in there a couple of times as well. So yeah, I went onto his podcast and we spoke about all things Final Fantasy. It was mainly the golden age of Final Fantasy, like 7, 8, 9, 10. That's basically what we discussed in a lot of detail. But I think that was a good place to start, because I picked up a few Final Fantasy-esque things. One of which is this little playmat here. So this is a Una and Titus playmat.
Oh yeah, I remember when that the one came out a few years ago.
Yeah.
My girlfriend picked up the Sephiroth one.
Yeah.
And I was really jealous because the quality is so nice and they're beautiful playmats.
It is, yeah. And this is for the Final Fantasy trading card game. I think it was part of the anniversary product that came out. Final Fantasy trading card games actually is pretty good. It's pretty fun. I don't have much time to play it, but it is just a little cool game, and I thought this was a nice little accessory to pick up. And as a result of that's not the only Final Fantasy thing I picked up as well. I'm going to segue this into these things. Triple Triad, Etsy, it's an Etsy purchase. So basically someone made the Triple Triad decks from... Well, Triple Triad was like a mini-game in Final Fantasy VIII. There was also a card game in Final Fantasy IX called Tetramaster, but they ported it over to Triple Triad system. So I thought that was a nice little thing as well. You've got a load of cards in here. I've sleeved them all up, so they're not in the original packaging, but this is what they look like. It's from, funnily enough, Viscerai Art and Cards. VYSERI. Viscerai Art and Cards. Yeah, so you can get these from Etsy, from Viscerai Art and Cards. There might be a link in the description box below, who knows. But what I thought was really, really cool about these things is that, obviously, this artist not only makes these boxes that they come in, but it's just the product itself looks quite cool. It's got on the side here, it's got the time it takes, the amount of players that it supports, it's even got a little skew on the bottom there, so it actually looks like a product you can pick up off of the shelf in a local game store or something. It comes with 110 cards, an instruction booklet, and a game mat as well. So you got like a little game mat. It's only paper. They do some neoprene actual play mats as well. Nice little instruction booklet, tiny little instruction booklet. So the time they've taken to put all this stuff together is fantastic. And then you got all the cards as well, which are sleeved up. So you got loads of different cards here from Triple Triad. Cactar, absolute classic.
Yeah.
These are the FF8 ones, and Triple yeah, Carbuncle, but Irvin. But yeah, obviously Triple Triad have double sides as well, so there's a red side and a blue side. So yeah, I just think it was a really, really nice little pickup, and they still do. There's loads of decks still available. I think they're from Canada, the shop. But it didn't take long at all for it to get to me. And you can get them as a bundle. You can get the FF8 and the FF9 bundle, but I sillily paid for them both individually when I didn't realise there was a bundle. So the actual shop gave me a store credit because they must have seen that I ordered them individually without knowing there was a bundle available. So they gave me a store credit to go back and potentially order something else. But yeah, so those are really, really cool. I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Actually, no, I lie. I did play with my girlfriend, and she actually understood it. It's not like... It's just numbers. It's just like you put a thing down, and if your number beats their number, you flip up their card to whatever your colour is. It's nice and easy to play.
Okay.
But yeah, good place to start. Final Fantasy. What's your next thing?
Well, to come back to the Final Fantasy, to be fair, they put a lot more thought than Flesh and Blood has put into their pre-built decks.
Yeah, that's right. They were quite expensive, to be fair. I think they were like £30-40 each. The bundle was cheaper, so if you got the bundle it would have been cheaper, but I stupidly ordered both individually. But yeah, that's the thing about Etsy, right? Etsy are just individual artists that are doing their handcrafted work, so you do pay extra for that because it's supporting the person individually, which is fair enough.
Yeah, but even then, it's a two-player game.
Yeah.
In like one box.
Exactly. Yeah.
I think even if you buy two individual Flesh and Blood pre-constructed decks, it's like £20.
Yeah.
But without manual, with only a link to how to play. So this sounds like a lot better value for money.
Yeah, and it comes with 110 cards as well. And the way that the game is made as well is that it's very varied. You know, no game is going to be the same because you're dealt random cards. It's not just you're playing with one deck and one deck only. You can mix and match the cards that you play with. So yeah, very, very varied. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
So let me change cam again. So I think going back to the Japan stuff.
Yep.
Do like 2 or 3 games at the same time. Coming back to the Japanese exclusive stuff. Well, it's not really Japanese exclusive, but Chrono Trigger is a well-known Super Nintendo game.
Gotcha.
It's one of the better RPGs, also designed by the artist of Dragon Ball, which you can see very well in the cover art.
Oh, okay. Nice.
one of the funniest things that the European and the American version of the DS games are super expensive. Like, let's say like 100 between 100 euros and 150 euros for just the game with box.
Oh, really? Wow.
While in Japan you can find this version for, let's say, between 30 and 50 euros, depending if you get lucky.
Yeah.
But it has English support again.
Oh, wow. Fantastic.
Like, even the Pokemon games for the DS don't have any support for the English games. For English language.
Yeah. Nice.
So that's super strange. And also, some bit of a fighting game collector. I bought the Fighting Jam, just like collaboration with Street Fighter and some of the other Capcom intellectual properties.
I was going to say, that's Chun-Li and Ryu on the cover there, isn't it?
Yeah, and Sakura, but they also have some other characters, like I think this guy is from the Vampire.
All right.
I forget the English name.
Mm.
But it's a well-known fighting game with undeads, vampires, and everything you can think about.
Yeah. Ah.
But it's region locked, but I don't mind having it in my collection.
Yeah.
Because it was like a few quid. The same goes with another game.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a random game collector, which is like, this is another Century Episode R.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a big fan of the Gundam universe, and mecha in itself, like the big giant fighting robots.
Yeah.
This game is very strange because it has like a collaboration between 10 franchises.
All right.
Which are not interconnected in any way from the universe. Like there are separate franchises, separate companies who made this.
Mm. Nice. Looks cool.
And it's a full-blown action game with 3D mecha fighting. Different franchises I really like.
Mech fighting and giant robots seems to be very, very popular. Obviously, a game that we play a lot of, and obviously the circles that we're in, Flesh and Blood, is visiting a sort of futuristic set as the next thing, which is building giant robots. So.
Yeah, now it's valuable with a new hero, with a new dash.
That's right.
It's become more easy to pop up the items on the field.
Top of the deck, yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. And to keep on going with the fighting games.
Yeah.
This is Aquapasa, which the franchise / the publisher of these games brings out. It's called Eroge,
mm-hmm.
which, to put a simple translation, erotic games.
Oh yeah.
So it's a company that brings out adult-themed games.
Yeah.
And they decided to make a fighting game.
Nice. Yeah.
So a lot of the well-known characters from the different series they brought, of the visual novels they brought, are like, now you can fight with them together.
All right. Okay. Cool. Nice.
There's also an English edition, which is very expensive because small publisher, well-known, loved franchises. But in Japan this was quite cheap. I didn't even see this. I even got the sealed soundtrack with it.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And this is secondhand from a well-known collector's shop, Surugaya.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's the thing with Japan, man. If you get lucky, things are like new because this hasn't been touched, or it has barely been used. Even the cover feels like it's just been taken out of the seal.
Yeah. I mean, I watch a few videos, and obviously Metal Jesus Rocks, to mention that channel again, goes to Japan a few times, and the stuff that they pick up, it looks like it's just brand new, even though it's second hand. Like some of the handheld consoles that are still wrapped in shrink wrap and stuff, you can get them for a discounted price because they're out of the box and all this. And Japan just seems to be one of those places where you can really get some nice pickups for cheap, like you have just there, which is nice.
Yeah, but the same goes like I said, most of the stuff I picked up were fighting games.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I also bought a Game Boy Color.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Because I wanted to modify it to have it a backlight, which I've done previously with another Game Boy. But this looks used. It's like some scratches on the glass, some stuff like a little bit patchy. But
Yeah.
I paid to convert it into pounds, like between £35
Yeah.
or
Decent.
€40.
Yeah.
And to have to compare with if I have to buy it here, even used, it costs me 40 to 50 pounds or 60 euros used with missing battery cap, which is a big thing with other Nintendo handheld stuff.
Yeah. Nice. You got some more fighting games as well, yeah. Vampire.
Yeah, some more fighting games. Vampire: The Resurrection, also a very well-known franchise with Morgan on the cover. This was a compilation of the first few games they brought out, because it's a big Capcom franchise. Vampire Hunter, Darkstalkers. That's the name.
Oh, okay, yeah. So when you're referring to the other fighting game, the Jam fighting game, that's what you was on about.
Yeah,
I see.
There was one that's a franchise they mixed in.
Yeah, yeah.
Because it's also a character within the game.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, it's an HD remake of an older game, and then one of my favorite things I found, it was in the last 2 days I found a game is called Hajime no Ippo the Fighting, which is one of the longest running mangas in, I think, Shonen Jump. It has been running for more than 20 years. It has around 1,400 chapters, so loose chapters.
Wow, yeah.
And it's about a guy that overcomes bullying by starting boxing.
Nice.
And yeah, it's just, being a martial arts fan, just spoke so much to me that this a guy starting from zero, going into the the Japanese championship, junior championships, and then even going for the world title, which is just before the current arc that's in it now. But yeah, it's a 3D fighting game with boxing, with characters I really love. So it's like,
well, yeah, if it's been 1,400, what was it, episodes you said? 1,400 issues?
Chapters. Issues, yeah.
Yeah, bloody hell. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's
yeah. Sorry, to go.
No, I was gonna say, yeah, when you find a franchise that you really connect with and stuff that has 1,400, chapters worth of stuff that you've read, and then it comes out in game form, that's just something that's going to be an instant pickup for you, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The funny thing, it's also the series is also on Netflix. If any of you or either you or one of your viewers might be interested in it, it's called Hajime no Ippo. I don't have it in English, but
nice.
Yeah, so just search Ippo, IPPO.
Yeah, and that's on English. That's on English Netflix. You don't need no sort of VPNs or whatever.
No VPN. It's in the European Netflix, so it should be in the UK Netflix also.
Oh yeah. And
probably also in the American, because I think most of your viewers are from the US.
I think so. Yeah, I think mainly. Yeah, definitely.
And last game I picked up in Japan. Is Tokyo Jungle.
That cover looks interesting.
Yeah. It's a very strange game.
Yeah.
It's about the humans suddenly disappeared.
Right.
And all the animals in Tokyo, so from the Tokyo Zoo, the pets, wild animals, have to start fend for themselves.
Nice.
Within the city of Tokyo.
Yeah.
So you play with multiple animals. Sometimes I think you can start as a dog and then go for a cat and then some wild animals. It's a thing. It's not sure if it's a Japanese exclusive, but it's one of the few games that it's like, when you see it, you need to buy it, because you will never know when you see it. Because I've been 3 times to Japan, and been to multiple game stores. And this time was the first time I ever have seen a copy loose on display to buy.
Wow. So do you have like a game tracking, like Games I Own tracking system that allows you to know what games you have, or?
Partially. It's a very big website called Price Charting. Where you can. It's a very, very good website, because you can search up a lot of your value of your games. You can search up for the different titles and even different versions that are of the games you have.
Yeah.
And with games I want to keep for my collection, I put them in and track whatever I have.
Nice, yeah.
But sometimes I have also bought a few games which I will put for sale during conventions I go to recuperate some of the money of the trip.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so price charting is my main tracking app.
I was going to say, of all these games that you buy and stuff, it's just have to keep track of it somehow. But that looks really cool, that game. Obviously, I love the sort of post-apocalyptic, what if this happened sort of situation. Reminds me of the I Am Legend. Like everyone's dead, but it's just, you know, just a man and his dog walking through. But in this, it's just animals that are alive. Yeah. Cool.
You can see on the cover that you have to face like as a dog you have to face like bears. One thing that a lot of people don't know is that Japan has a big bear population outside of the cities.
That's right. Yeah. Watch a lot of Abroad in Japan. And they always joke about so many bears. You know, watch out for the bears and all this. That's cool. Awesome. Right, so I'm gonna stay on the train of Japan-inspired anime sort of style things, and I picked up a Shadowverse Evolve deck recently. This is the Abysscraft one. I picked this up in Switzerland. It was £24.90. So about £22-21 for a starter deck, which is around about the right sort of price, right? And this is the Abysscraft one. So me and Pascal both picked up a deck, and he bought the Swordcraft deck, and we jammed out 5 games, and he kicked my ass in every single one. Similar to how you kicked my ass in every single Azalea versus Bravo in Birmingham.
Yeah, that was the good practice for you.
It was, yeah, because then I did okay, you know, I did all right, and the Bravo that I did face on the weekend I beat, which was interesting.
Yeah, I remember you telling me you mashed him in.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. But yeah, Shadowverse, interesting game. I think one of the main mechanics is the whole evolve mechanic. Obviously, it's called Shadowverse Evolve. I don't think I was doing that enough in the games that I was playing, and we played the first game wrong. So in Shadowverse, you get incremental resources with each turn that passes. So on turn 1, you have 1 resource. On turn 2, you have 2. On turn 3, you have 3, etc. So you don't have that sort of land screw or resource screw. You get incremental value each turn. But it also reminds me of Lorcana in a way, where you can only attack creatures or units that are tapped or expended. I don't know what the word for it is in Shadowverse. But then you can also attack your opponent directly by tapping your creature and dealing damage to them as well. So it's like similar to Lorcana, where you tap and you quest to get points or whatever. So there's quite a couple of similarities between it. I thought it was quite good. I can't see myself going very deep into it, but I just thought, why not just buy a deck for, you know, and play from a starter deck perspective. I know I'm probably gonna get a few games in against Red Zone Rogue, because that's his favourite game, one of his favourite games. But I'll probably get my ass kicked by him as well, to be fair.
Yeah, I played Shadowverse for a few years, but on the mobile app, and it was a lot of fun. Yeah. But played mostly because my girlfriend loved the Shadowverse, the Alice in Wonderland team.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because this game was based off Rage of Bahamut, which was another trading card game.
Yeah.
That failed and got mixed in together with the Shadowverse stuff.
Ah, okay.
So it evolved into Shadowverse.
Yeah.
It was from the same publisher, Side Games.
Right.
And she loved the whole world of the Rage of Bahamut stuff because of the dragon, the high fantasy, the mix of different kinds of races.
Yeah.
And also they did an Alice in Wonderland collaboration, which I hope they bring out a set from.
Yeah.
Because that's her favorite franchise, and I will just buy her a booster box for it.
Yeah, nice. Because she does cosplay and stuff, doesn't she, as well?
Yeah. She does a lot of cosplay. She recently is going to start to do. She joined for Comic Con Holland,
Yeah.
to get her own artist table to
Ah.
sell her art.
Oh, fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, so I picked that up recently. Should we continue doing card games for a moment? So I've got something else.
Sure.
I'll show this off as well. Actually, no. Let's do a card game. Let's do cards from you first, and I'll move on to the thing after.
So one of the things was very special to me. Also picked up in Japan. I haven't brought everything out with all the cards I picked up in Japan because it's a lot of cards, just random Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
But one of the special things for me was this.
Okay.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh! Structure deck. It's a pre-built deck. But I've been a zombie player of Yu-Gi-Oh! When I started it. Started with zombies and never went to another archetype, let's say.
Zombies? What, undead
Yeah,
creatures? Okay.
Yeah, undead creatures.
Yeah.
So it's like all the monsters in Yu-Gi-Oh! Have types. So one type is like a spellcaster. The other type are dragons, like the blue eyes white dragons.
Yep.
But my favorite type is zombies. And I remember buying the English structure deck, but I actually needed 3 copies because I needed 3 copies of each card that was in the deck. But I never did that because I was stupid and young. And just in June when we were over there, I found 2 of these. The deck is still sealed, which was very surprising for I think it's this deck is from 2018, 2019.
Okay, right. Still sealed, yeah.
It's still sealed. And I was like, yeah, it was like 20 pounds, no, 18 pounds, which is actually like 8 pounds more than the regular retail price. But I thought, okay, no, I just need it, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And you got 2 of those, did you?
No, I got 1 because I didn't want to overspend, and I already bought a lot of Pokemon cards at the same store.
Fair enough, yeah.
Yeah, so it's... Going to Japan and being a trading card collector, lover,
yeah,
expensive.
It's expensive, yeah. And that's only in Japanese as well then, so you have to know what those cards do in order to play them.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have the English deck built already, but
right.
I just wanted to have this one for my personal collection because it's part of what got me into TCGs.
Yeah. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh for me, what the main sort of deck that I played back in a long time ago was just basically just playing with the cards unsleeved round my mate's house. We didn't have a clue. We didn't have a clue what we were doing, and all this was the Toon World creatures because they could attack your opponent directly, and I was just like, yes, I love this. I want to do the Toon World thing. So yeah, I mean, that's probably really, really old news, for Yu-Gi-Oh. But that's where I started. But yeah, got some fun memories.
Really. There's still some janky decks of Toon World that are actually doing pretty good.
All right, nice.
Because I quit just after COVID started in 2021.
Yeah.
And got into Flesh and Blood, and that took my wallet.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah.
Money and time has been taken.
Money and time and travel time, so yeah.
That's right.
I always wanted to do some more serious competitive stuff with Yu-Gi-Oh! But after playing for a few sets, or a few months, I discovered that decks just go extremely fast out of meta.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
And yeah, I don't want to spend 400 quid every 5 months to get a new deck.
Yeah, so you invest in a deck and then suddenly it's irrelevant.
Yeah. Because it's either overpowered and it gets hit during the ban list.
Yeah.
And it loses power, or it keeps going and going and going until Konami, it's the publisher of the game, decides to just
nerf it,
flood the market with low rarity reprints.
Oh, okay, right, yeah.
So they really haven't. They really don't want to give the Western players, collectors, the same treatment they do the Japanese, because the Japanese booster boxes they have like supplementary sets, which they bring out 4, 5, or 6 rarities of the same card,
Right. Okay.
and you can decide, oh, I'm gonna go for the lowest tier foil card
Yeah.
for a few cents, or I will go with the highest rarity, cold foil, you name it, rarity, ultimate rarity or starlight rarity. That's 1 per case,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll go max pin my deck, but it will cost me like £100 per card.
Jeez. Yeah.
And yeah, and here in the West we get so that the one card that is a key in the deck, we'll bring it out as a secret rare, so like three rarities higher, like a 1 per box hit.
Jeez.
While in the Japanese version was brought as a common.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. That's a big thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a big thing, and that's one of the things that really it really pains me. What do you paint?
Yeah.
It hurt me a lot.
Yeah.
Seeing how my favorite deck just becomes unplayable.
Yeah.
Within a few months.
No, that's a big thing, isn't it? Yeah. That's why we like Flesh and Blood at the moment. You can invest in your favourite deck, you can get the pieces that you want for it, and it's everlasting until that hero Living Legends. So
yeah.
It is. And there's a format for that now as well, Living Legend format.
Yeah.
So
it's Worlds in Barcelona, let's go. Vamos, vamos.
Vamos, absolutely. Fantastic. Cool.
Yeah. So I was really looking forward to make a Starbolt deck, and I suddenly ruled it out, and I was okay, now I can just play Bravo.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cool. So card games. I'll go now.
Yes.
I picked up some random Lorcana cards. I'm still fleshing out this collection, but my favourite Disney film growing up was Aladdin. So I picked up every single Aladdin card. So I got 4 of these Heroic Outlaws.
Oh, that's a beautiful card.
Yeah, I just absolutely love it. So I picked up all the Aladdin. So I got 4 of the Street Rats, which come in and rob your opponent of lore.
Really?
Yep. So when he enters the field, each opponent loses 1 lore, which is nice. We got 4 of these Aladdins. So basically picked up all of the Aladdins that I could that exist at the moment. This is quite an interesting one. It's in the steel color. I think red and green is probably the best way to go for Aladdin decks because of the other synergies that are involved. But there's this steel card. It's a 2-drop. A 2-drop 2/1 that quests for 2. So the rate on that is pretty good because if you can start questing for 2 as early as turn 3, I think that's quite good. But it's in the steel color, so you need to figure out whether that's worth doing or not. But I just picked up all the Aladdin cards because I wanted to pick it up. Then we got the green one, which is just 4 of those. That's the one that has ward. And then we picked up some other bits as well, like the classic Aladdin sword, the stolen scimitar. And things like Genie, and and
Robin Williams. Yeah,
it's just pure classic. And then of course we picked up my favourite Disney princess growing up, Jasmine. Absolutely. But yeah, just picked up a few Lorcana cards for the stuff that I enjoy. I think the great thing about Lorcana is that they've actually thought about everything from the get-go, because the card games that I'm playing with Lorcana at the moment are just me and my mates playing around a kitchen table multiplayer, and it does work quite well in that setting, funnily enough. So that's how we're enjoying it at the moment, and it's good to know that they've designed the game to a certain degree where you can play multiplayer and it still feels like you've got purchase in the game. UPF, unfortunately, doesn't feel that way sometimes, because there's a lot of restrictions on it. But on this, you can interact with all the players simultaneously. There's loads of things you can do. So I think it's a good multiplayer experience straight out the gate. So that's how I'm enjoying it at the moment. Have you had much experience with it yet?
Yeah, I did buy like 15 packs.
Oh yeah.
Because I tried to pre-order a box and it didn't go through.
Yeah.
I did pull a few legendaries, and when I saw the prices of on card market, I was like, no, I'm not going to pick up this game seriously, so I just sold them.
Yeah, fair play. I would have done the same.
Yeah, but it looks like also the post lost my package, so I need to see what if card markers can help me
Oh,
out.
right, yeah. Damn.
Like 40 euros worth of cards that got lost.
Ah, that's a shame. Yeah.
But even then, the game looks fun. One thing I have a bit against it is I like the art on the cards,
Yeah.
but I do not like the card design,
The cards...
framing.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because it looks like and my girlfriend made the same remark. Is they look a lot of the art looks beautiful,
Mm-hmm.
but the framing looks like a tabletop game card,
Yeah. Yeah, there's not much...
and not really like it doesn't really feel like a trading card game.
No, yeah, I know
At
what you
least
mean.
in my eyes.
Yeah, it's quite bland, isn't it? And there's not much,
Yeah.
not much going on. It's just like a black border almost. Not much really.
Yeah, but the thing is, I understand, and it's immediately visible that it's not designed by Disney, but designed by Ravensburger.
Yes, because they do a lot of board games mainly, don't they?
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense as to why it's maybe not got that trading card game feel yet.
Yeah.
So
I hope they do change a little bit or modify just a little slightly to have some extra to get really the feel of trading card games.
yeah. But I think it's cool. I think it's introducing a lot of younger generations into card gaming and tabletop gaming and how much fun you can have around a table playing with pieces of paper rather than sat in front of a game screen all the time. There's pleasure to be had in that as well, but I think tabletop gaming and meeting people and playing with people in real life is great, all in all. So.
It reminds me of when the first time I picked up Yu-Gi-Oh to play with it as a real card game. Which I started I think I was 7, 8. I've been 3 years in the Netherlands and I spoke English, but it got me to interact with my classmates.
Yeah.
Which I didn't really know well.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it was I've just arrived like a few years here. The language wasn't my strongest, and also my communication skills weren't really good.
Yep.
But just sitting around on the pavement playing with our cards on the school grounds, and just either beating each other or someone winning everything or somebody winning one and then going back and forth. That's a lot of fun, and it's a thing you only experience when you're playing with people.
Exactly. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think a lot of us have experiences like when I said earlier about playing Yu-Gi-Oh on a pavement with Toon World and stuff. A lot of us do have those experiences, which is what these games are all about. So.
Yeah, it's a connection with people, and that's I do. That's why when you say it, oh yeah, that's right. It gives the feeling to a generation that hasn't really got the experience with that kind of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's all iPads and computers and Messenger, and we had none of that when I'm 33, so I think the sort of phones and stuff blew up, but I'd already experienced the tabletop and going out to play with friends, and all that sort of thing. I never had. A lot of us never had the instant communication, the instant information that everybody has now. So yeah, I think bringing the tabletop and the card gaming back through an IP like Disney is going to get a lot of people into it for sure. So I'm 31 and I had the same history. It's like especially for me because I was an immigrant. Oh, I'm still an immigrant, which came into a school in a group of children where I already partially grew up together. Yeah.
And just having something that I can mingle myself in with, like Pokemon cards, like playing. One of the flashbacks adds like we have a game in the Netherlands. We use a card, and then throw it against a wall, and the person whose card is the closest to a wall, falls closest to the wall, wins the other card.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So that was one of the games we used to play with foil base set Pokemon cards.
Brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've all got tales of the playing with the ridiculously expensive now cards back in those days. Geez, it's funny.
Yeah. It feels funny just to say it, and I love it.
Yeah, brilliant. Awesome. So I've got 2 more items that are completely separate to each other. So shall I go?
Yeah.
All right. This is nothing game related, but I picked it up in Switzerland, and this is a record. This is Electric Callboy. They used to be called Eskimo Callboy. So like a metalcore sort of trance electronic band from Germany, I believe. But I picked this up in Switzerland because I just absolutely love this album. I don't even have a record player, but it's just nice. You could just put it on the wall behind you or something, couldn't you? I just love it. I think I might try and pick more records up of my favourite albums before you can't do that anymore. So yeah, that it got me into thinking about maybe doing a little bit more music record collecting, and that's techno from Electric Callboy. So definitely check them out if you're a fan of metal and sort of infused music, different genres being melded together. And leave a comment in the section below if you've heard them or listened to them in the past.
I do love the cover on it.
Yeah.
Like the brush logo. Oh man.
Yeah, it's got the little.
It's really kind of my style.
Yeah, and it looks proper old school as well, like the little colours down the side as well. I love the sleeve that it comes in. I haven't opened it yet. I just still in the cling wrap because I don't need to open it because it's just I don't have a record player to play it on. So
yeah, I have the same thing because I have the Akira soundtrack.
Oh yeah.
On vinyl.
Yeah.
On LP.
Yeah.
Which I bought I think about 5 years ago.
Mm.
I was like, oh cool, it's Akira and it's a soundtrack because I remember seeing the original soundtrack also on disc, not on disc, on LP, on vinyl.
Yep.
Vinyl.
Yep.
In Hong Kong.
All right.
And I was like, oh dude, the soundtrack, it's I don't know, the soundtrack of Akira is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And they brought out for I think it was a 20th anniversary or 30th anniversary celebration. They brought out LPs in different colors.
Oh,
so I have
nice.
the transparent or blood spot version.
Nice.
Which I was like, okay, sure, I'll take it. It's 20 quid, sure.
Yeah, why not? Exactly. And that's the thing. I think records and that sort of stuff, they do come in limited editions as well. So you can get not one of, but sort of rarer covers or alternative covers and stuff. So yeah, it's definitely something I'm looking at. Just when I'm in a random city or something like Barcelona, for instance, maybe try and find a record store. I think Sunflower Samurai did mention in one of their, because they do tweets every week saying, oh, you can go to this place in Barca. I'll have to reach out to them and see if they've mentioned a record store yet, because I think that could be a good place to go and do some filming in as well.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Anyway, what have you got next?
Nice. So we're going back to the trading card stuff.
Yeah, go for it.
This Friday the 17th, the 16th, 15th. I went to a pre-release of the new set of One Piece, the OP4.
Okay.
I went 04. Absolutely amazing record.
Yeah.
So I just picked up some of the pre-release stamped cards.
Nice.
Which I do like the art on it. I mean, it's mostly manga art and some screenshot art.
Yep.
But we did get the exclusive pre-release promo of the I think it's King Luffy, if I remember correctly. But I do like the traditional Japanese outfits they have.
Mm.
And also, a local game store had buy a pack, buy a product and get a promo. So sure.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And I will try to start playing some OP coming months.
Yep.
Just to have something to distract me from the grinding of Flesh and Blood.
Yeah, too right. Awesome.
Yeah, so I do now. It's spoiler. So yes, I recently won an armory on Katsu. Went 0-0.
Yep.
It's like the first time actually playing it on paper, but I grinded a week away with Katsu. It's a lot of fun. It's a really fun deck.
Awesome.
So I won the call for Binding Blade.
Yeah.
Beaming Blade.
Beaming Blade. That's right.
Beaming Blade. It's a beautiful card, man.
It looks great. I just don't. Obviously, I'm not a Bolton brain myself, And I don't know whether people have even really tried to use this, but it just looks so cool. And it's a 2 for 5?
Yeah, a 2 for 5 if you have charge or put a yellow card in your hero soul.
Yeah, which might be easier to do with the fact that we've got that new Warband card, because that's a charge start in play card. So maybe there's going to be a few Bolton aficionados that might actually try and revisit that now with the Beaming Blade. Who knows? But it's cool nonetheless, for sure.
Yeah, we do have our Dutch champion was a Bolton player.
That's right.
Is a Bolton player.
Yeah.
Which was strange to see.
Kudos to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Just picking on some random foil majestics, which one of my favorite art, the alt art rewind.
Yeah.
Art.
Yeah. Yeah, they've done some great art. They have.
And some random majestic to finish some playsets.
Nice. Are you one of those people as well then that will just collect the play sets of each card? So you make sure that you can sort of, if you want to, sort of pivot into any deck at any time?
Yeah, recently, at the start of this year, I decided to start collecting all the legendaries.
Right. Yeah.
Which I've managed to do a lot. I did manage to finish before the half of the year. I finished the Welcome to Raid legendaries, so I got my Tunic foil and all the other cards. And I actually managed to buy a Heart of Feindal from Pascal just before the big spike.
Oh, I remember the story. Yeah. Nice.
Which I was very happy about it. And then I said, you know what? If I find Majestics cheap, I will just buy them. My goal for now is to finish a foil playset of Tales of Area. And Uprising, because those are the two cheapest Majestics there are. Just all the Majestics are between between £1 and £10.
Yeah.
Which compared to Welcome to Raid and Arcane Rising, buying those foil Majestics.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah,
nice.
even the crew Majestics are going slowly up in price in foil.
Yeah, they're going to though, aren't they? That's the thing. They're coming less and less. Just do it while you can now, I guess, isn't it? So.
Yeah. So for now, just collecting and trying to get stuff either online or cheaper. And some trading away. And also one of my favorite stuff, I picked up an Italian version of Crippling Crush.
Oh wow! How do you say that?
It's Chianto Paralizzante, if I remember correctly. Because my Italian is not that great.
That's cool. Yeah, that sounds good.
Because one of the funny things is with all the History Pack 1, a lot of the History Pack 1 Majestic cards have like a slight error, which look a little bit hazy.
Yeah.
Of foggy. Which I thought, it's an Italian copy of one of my favorite cards. Sure, I'll take it.
Yeah, some of the German history pack stuff have these like very, very faint green lines down the left-hand side. Like the CNC that I pulled on top of the mountain actually had that as well.
As you can see, this one has like a little bit of a blue, but you can see the frame of the left side. Is just slightly thicker than the right side.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So yeah, a lot of printing errors from the Belgian manufacturer, but then again, it's a very fun product.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I'll probably be trying to build a Tiger Katsu deck in the future.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. And just a lot of Majestic, and also trying to finish all the just Majestic before they just go up in price like crazy.
Yes, yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's worth getting all the mech stuff now for sure. Especially with if you look at the key art as well, the key art of Bright Lights, you can see Dash working on this big robot thing. So I think Dash is gonna care about Nitro Mechanoid or other things like that. So if you haven't got those already, go and get those sort of things and all the items.
And like I said, I'm picking up like as much possible foil Majestics of crew, just to have my playsets. And one of my favorite cards, one of the most difficult cards to get, the most expensive cards to get is foil.
Oh yeah.
is featuring the Queen.
Remorseless. Praise be our Supreme Leader. Look at that, just pinning a unfortunate soul to the wall and leaving the contract card on the table for the person to pick up. Brilliant.
Yeah, I love the art on this card.
Yeah, it's very good. A lot of the Azalea cards, to be honest, are very good. Speaking of which as well, I'm getting... because the calling in Taipei is happening soon, like early October. Yeah. And the person that does the art for Red in the Ledger is going to be there. Yolanda Felicia, I think her name is. Yeah, I'm getting 3 Red in the Ledgers signed by her. Also, I think... Fluke and Box. I bought a Red in the Ledger playmat off of Fluke and Box from his shop, and I think he's giving it to Hayden Dale to then get signed for me at the Taipei calling, because Hayden Dale's going to that as well. So yeah, I'm gonna have a nice little Red in the Ledger playmat signed as well. It's not the one with the zones. It's not the fancy Arcane Rising one. I think it's just I think it's just a prize war one, to be honest. But
no, the ones without zones are artist exclusives.
Ah, right, okay, nice.
As far as I know, because we have one of the guys in the Dutch community actually made a website to track all the playmats that have been brought out.
Ah, right, okay.
And until now, all the playmats without zones have been exclusively sold or been only exclusively available through the artists.
Right, okay, I see. Nice. But yeah, can't
just
wait to get
another what do you call Sebas funny information about irrelevant information about cards.
Yeah, it's good information though.
So like I say, just also getting some very nice foil stuff, and I think this card is going to be very expensive coming set. Meeps.
Yes, I think so. Yeah, steals items, isn't it? If not, draw
steals
a card.
items or draw a card.
Yeah.
Which is like this card is busted.
Yeah.
Which I'm looking forward to play it in my Ira deck.
Yeah. Well, let's go. We've got Go Again, cost 1, so why not?
Yep.
Could be you push. It's a 3 attack right as well. So with the Ira, if it's second attack, pushes it breakpoint up, or is it 2?
No, it's a 2 attack, and then but with Ira you can pump it up to 3 attack if you use it as a second attack.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So Kodachi for 1, Meeps for 3, and you're just gonna Razor reflex it.
That's true. Yeah. Nice.
And yeah, because of the Nets season, a lot of people were getting like the first edition foil. So I got a few of those, and actually managed. So very nice frost of this beautiful foil art.
Oh yeah.
I managed this next. Let me see the next stack I have of. I managed to pull 2 cold foils during the national draft. And I also got past the Shadow of Orser for some reason. Foil, first edition. So I was like, sure.
Yeah, why not?
I'll take it. Because I was playing Chain, so it fit in my deck.
Yeah.
And I also got passed down a foil cold foil Dreamweavers.
Oh, okay.
Which I didn't pull, I just got passed down.
Passed it.
It was super funny.
Brilliant. Cheers then.
Cheers, thank you.
Yeah.
And then I bought some cards from friends. So I'm almost done with the Ironhide cold foil set. As the Ancients, Rainbow Foil, Guardian Player, it's must have.
Oh, it's got to be done. Yeah.
And I got gifted an Arrowplate cold foil from a friend.
Fantastic.
He said, "Oh, I pulled that one. You're collecting them? Yeah. Oh, here you go. Thank you."
Awesome.
And like I'm trying to collect all the legendaries. Yeah. So found Suraya. And yeah, because I went 6-6 on the nationals, I joined the PTI that was at the same afternoon.
Yep.
As day 2, and we got 2 packs of DTD, Dusk Till Dawn, as a compensation prize.
Yep.
And one of the packs was this one.
Lovely. Extended
art.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow. Brilliant.
So I was very, very happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. Nice one.
Yeah, it looks beautiful, man. The card looks very clean. And with the judge compensation I got, I pulled second rainbow foil Soulbound Resolve.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine asked me, was wondering if anybody had a rainbow foil to trade it down for a cold foil. So I also got the cold foil now.
Awesome.
Because I traded my rainbow foil and and a few bucks for it. So super happy.
Yeah. Nice.
And I think the last card, which we teased a little bit, which I told you about, I think probably the seller will probably be one of your future sponsors. I hope.
Yeah.
Managed to get it through a friend, from America to England, and then because he was on vacation, he just gave it to me, handed it over to me. Luckily.
Yeah.
And it was a grandeur of Valhalla, Valhalla.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Which was I bought it through Raid Wars.
Okay. Nice.
And it was like £100 cheaper than on Car Market.
Yeah, they do some really, really good flash deals, don't they? They are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Definitely worth checking out when they do the thing, when they go live and on the shop.
Yeah.
Definitely worth having a look, see what you can get. So that's a good one. Awesome.
So that's a little bit of the card stuff for me. But man, it's like just having this one for my Guardian collection made my whole week. Because I was stressed out. Because I ordered it on the 8th of August, and it should arrive within 2 weeks. But my friend was leaving the 24th. So it was a question whether the USPS or the Royal Mail would deliver it in England.
Yeah. Awesome. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Cool. So I've got one last thing on my end, which is tabletop related, and it's going to be in tandem with something that I'm going to be running very, very soon, and that is this. So this is the Spelljammer Adventures in Space Dungeons and Dragons set. So it comes with 3 books in it. It's got a campaign book called The Light of Zaris, which is like a story campaign that you can actually run yourself as a DM. It comes with a Dungeon Master screen as well. Comes with a monster manual for all the sort of astral beings. Basically, Spelljammer Adventures in Space is like a space astral sea, astral dimension setting for Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm going to be running a campaign soon with a few people that have shown interest in the Discord, and there is sort of interdimensional planar portal, travel through the astral sea to get places. Try not to spoil too much of it. So I thought I'd pick this up because there's a lot of space-esque monsters and rules and stuff for Dungeons and Dragons, and also it comes with the Astral Adventurer's Guide as well, which one of my players who's playing a Astral Drifter has all the backgrounds on what they do and all that sort of thing. So I thought I'd pick that up. So that's the Spelljammer D&D Adventures in Space, and that was from Chaos Cards, who I'm affiliated with in the UK. They do loads of tabletop games and RPG systems and all this. So, do you play much D&D, or have you interested in it at all? Or
I do have some interest. I still need to plan a single-player campaign with my girlfriend because she used to be a DM for a group like of 5 people.
Oh yeah.
And she actually also did homebrew stuff.
Yeah.
She wrote the campaigns.
Nice. Yeah. That's basically what I'm doing. Yeah, I'm writing my own thing. Yeah. Nice.
Yeah, I do have like because I'm as a comic book collector, I've come by very strange stuff. I actually come by a few years ago. I came by advanced D&D book.
Yeah.
From 1993, 91.
Wow. Yeah.
Together with the monster manual and story, the Lost Realm story.
Okay. Yeah.
Storybook, together with a sealed DM screen.
Nice. Yeah.
So it's still in the original plastic. It's like, what the heck? But it's €5. I'll take it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really like the DM screen for this one as well, because it's like, let me just get it out. It's very like ethereal and otherworldly. So you might be able to. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see the full thing, but it's like astral whale on it.
It's beautiful.
Yeah. So as you can see, it's very sort of sci-fi and stuff, but still within the realm of fantasy. And that's what I really want to capture in my campaign is the idea of the fact that you are all fantasy characters, but there's other dimensions and you can travel through space to a certain degree, but it is the astral sea, which is what this Spelljammer is all about. And the name Spelljammer is basically a name for the ship that you need to... So basically, to be able to travel through the astral sea as a character, you need a Spelljammer ship. So the Spelljammer ships come in different shapes and sizes, and they're all outlined in the books in here. But you can only travel through the astral sea through the power of your mind. You don't actually physically enter the realm. It's really, really bizarre, and I'm still reading through it and stuff. So you need a character or a player who has high intelligence to be able to pilot your ship, because they power it with their mind. So yeah, loads of weird shit going on in these books, but I can't wait to delve into them more. But yeah, that's the last thing that I have. So if you want to cap off with anything else that you have, or are you done? You're never done, are you?
I'm never done.
You've always got something.
I got the most random shit you can imagine. No, but I think I'm gonna cap it up the small haul I got from the UK.
Yeah.
And together with the small haul I got from a convention just recently, it's just like 3 games.
Yeah.
But my haul from the UK next to all the Flesh and Blood stuff I got, because I managed to finish my just grab it. Change. My legendary Arcane Rising equipment.
Ah, okay.
Set.
Yeah.
The guys at Silver Palms, one of the traders in the con in Birmingham, had Rainbow Foil Skull Cap left. Awesome.
Yeah.
So I managed to trade in some cards I had, some random alpha stuff I never used, and with their help, I managed to finish the complete Arcane Rising foil, legendary and common foil set.
That's cool.
So I was pretty happy about.
Yeah. That's a good thing about Flesh and Blood, especially at the moment, is that, you know, you can trade in unwanted things that you don't use or have duplicates of to really fund a purchase that you really want. And I famously tell a tale of me basically trading in an entire folder of classes and things I didn't use to be able to get the Marvel Azalea because I wanted it.
Yeah.
And that's the great thing about this game, is you can do that like you've just done there as well. So
yeah, because the cards keep their value, and compared with like I'm gonna complain again, like Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yeah.
And I think you have the same experience with Magic. Like a card gets reprinted 20 times and then it loses their value and goes from the 20 pounds it used to be on release now up down to like £1 for the foil version, because there are 5 versions and it's being reprinted in 10 sets.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely.
So yeah, next to the other stuff I have my other pickup at in Birmingham. I went to I always forget how the
CEX.
The name is, yeah, CEX. We call it here. It's called trade-in or buy. We buy in the Netherlands. Calls We Buy and CEX.
Yeah.
But I managed to score a game which I've been looking for a long time, because just before COVID hit, this game used to be like around €20 / 15 pounds.
Right.
It's one of the best JRPGs, the Japanese RPG games there exist.
It's a bold
because
claim.
Of COVID, yeah, role-playing game, yeah.
Yeah.
You play like a high schooler who discovers they have like a very strange superpowers. They can see like demons and stuff, and there's some quite heavy storytelling behind it, while the main characters are all high schoolers.
Yeah.
But it's just a Japanese setting.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Persona 4 Golden. There's also a PC version now, which I haven't been able to play, but I wanted for the original console. I brought out the PS Vita because I also collect PS Vita games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I was super happy to score it.
Nice. Yeah, that's a PS Vita. I think was a very, very underrated console, to be honest.
And
yeah,
and it died mostly because Sony decided to use what you call it, a special memory card instead of a regular SD card. So you had to pay. I think the retail price on an 8 gigabyte memory card was like £20.
£20 for 8 gig. That's it.
8 gigs. Yes.
Wow. Yeah, they wonder. Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could buy a 8 gigabyte SD card. I'm talking about more than 10 years ago. You could buy an 8 gigabyte memory SD card, micro SD, for £10.
No, exactly. Yeah. That's the great thing about Switches and stuff. You know, you can just put a 256 gig SD card in there, which doesn't cost you anything really. So yeah, that boggles my mind as to why they died. I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that information, but that makes complete sense as to why it died. But
as I said, a lot of good. I mean, they even brought out like Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
On handheld in 3D. They brought out Street Fighter vs Tekken. They brought out the Metal Gear Solid collection with Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3.
Nice.
Which you could play on a handheld, man. It's like
it
was this big of a screen, but it had enough battery to run the games for a few hours.
Yeah. That's epic.
Yeah. So rent is over. And after Birmingham, I went to a convention in which I was also selling some personal stuff of mine. But there was also a bring and buy table.
Yeah.
In which you could bring your personal stuff. And one of the few games I found for very cheaply was Metal Slug Advance.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if you know the Metal Slug game.
Oh yeah, I used to play Metal Slug in arcades in like beachfront coastal towns in the UK. We have arcades, and Metal Slug was one of them. Very hard game though. From what I remember. Yeah. And
yeah, it was. I didn't even knew the game existed on the Game Boy Advance.
No.
But it was €5, so £4. So I was alright. Sure, I'll take it.
Well, and they just like have a table of cartridges that you can just pick up for cheap then.
Yeah, it's like they have a system in which you can bring in up to like a certain amount of products, and then you can put a price on it. And whenever they sell, the sellers get a 10% of the sell price, and you get the rest.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So this was super cheap.
Yeah.
And next to it was Kirby's Amazing Mirror. Which is one of the more popular Kirby games that exist, and it was like £20, €25. But this game alone, cartridge alone, is worth 40 to 50 euros.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, I think that's a rare game, and it's also a very good and fun game. Took it, and sure.
Yeah, Kirby's got a good reputation. I think there was a new Kirby game out on the Switch recently.
Yes.
Kirby's Great Adventure or something. But yeah, so I've been told that that's pretty good for couch co-op as well, which is another sort of genre which I think is coming back quite a lot now as well, is couch co-op. Again, just going back to the whole I want to play with my friends rather than just online. You know, couch co-op is one of the and it's a good couples thing as well, right? Couch co-op.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and it's also just fun to just sit down with somebody next to you.
Yeah.
Have a drink, have something to eat, have a snack, and just sit and play.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, something also from our generation that was skipped for a whole 2 console generations.
Yeah.
Because the only 2 games that you used to be able to play, like during the PS2 of a PS3 and PS4 era, were fighting games. And if one of you isn't good at fighting games, somebody's either going to get very salty or just sad, and he's going to quit playing the game.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's a really interesting conversation and observation that we've made today, is the fact that that whole thing was skipped. You know.
Yeah.
and now it's coming
Just
back.
the last thing I wanted to show you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, just to just finish the pickup
Yeah.
video. I managed to get Action Replay for the GameCube.
Okay.
I don't know if you remember those.
It rings a bell, but I can't remember what it is.
It is Action Replay is the well-known cheat device you used to use to cheat on your games.
Oh, right, okay, yeah, so you put the cartridge in and it allows you to do all the cheats and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
And this is the GameCube exclusive version, and which is funny, it was produced in England by Datel,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the well-known companies for either bringing modification devices without breaking or without you having to actually modify a part of your console, or use pure software or just plugins like the memory card to manipulate your game.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, this is kind of rare, and I always wanted one in my collections. And in the same place next to this two, I found it.
Brilliant.
Also for €5.
Nice. Awesome.
So that's it for me for my pickups. I do have some stuff, but that's mostly extra stuff I was thinking about.
Yeah. Well,
we'll go back to the conversation we just were having, like the whole generation that got skipped.
That's right.
Co-op games.
Yeah, exactly. Because obviously that was, it was the boom of, we can play all these games online now. We don't need to, set up.
Yeah.
Remember the old days where you used to bring round. You used to have a group of friends that used to bring round their own TVs and stuff, and LAN parties and all this, and that just doesn't happen anymore because you can just do everything online. There's so much of that feeling and experience lost in this age of information, unfortunately. So
so one of the things I remember very dearly is why I didn't have a great relationship with my cousins. One of the fun things we could do were sit down, grab 4 controllers for the PlayStation 2, and play Need for Speed together.
Oh yeah. Did you used to have the on PS2? You needed a multi-tap though, right? Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
You could buy those very cheaply, so it was like only the most expensive part was the controller.
Yeah.
It was like £10
Mm.
or 12-15 euros. It was sure. Let's go. I'll buy one so we can play, or I'll bring my GameCube and we can play Mario Kart Double Dash together.
Yeah, because I had 4 ports, 4 controller
Yeah,
ports.
it was that 4 ports, and you could split the screen in 4.
Yeah. That's what I mean. All of that was lost in favour of you can play online. You don't need a shared console, etc. Which obviously drove sales as well because of the fact everybody needed their own one.
Needed a single console, yeah.
So yeah, it's just an interesting journey that hopefully TCGs and board games being massive now hopefully allows people to rediscover the joy of playing around other people, not only in board and card games but also maybe translating that over to video games and the whole revival of, Switch has done it the best with the couch co-op. There's loads of it on there. So yeah, hopefully we see a resurgence in that as well.
I mean, even we have also seen like after COVID that everybody went. Yeah, everybody got very lonely.
That's true. Yep.
And so a lot of people decided, okay, you know what? Because we have a limitation on how many people we can have, let's just invite 2 or 3 people at our home. Let's go and play a board game together.
Yeah.
Just to have the social contact we saw as normal, to have it back together and be able to have social interaction with people.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I liked from Flesh and Blood is that they decided to, even at the height of the pandemic, they decided to just either do a control environment play together, so you could still be allowed to play the game in stores.
Yeah.
But with the restriction that you could play with a mask, and even the online games, you needed a webcam.
Yeah.
Just to be able to play the game.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I think that pretty much wraps up for this first episode of Great Mail Day. Expect to see more in the future with more random stuff. Again, this first episode has been a complete assortment of different things.
Yep.
So hopefully you'll be happy to come back on and share some more stuff with us.
It will be more possible.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm Az from Go Again Gaming. You're seeing this on Go Again Gaming, of course. And do you want to shout anything out for yourself?
Yeah, my small YouTube channel is Seba Collects, S-E-B-A Collects. Still, at the moment, I don't have a lot of videos. I just have a few shorts in it.
Yeah.
And a small card shop tour, which I will probably redo because my plan is to go back to Japan next year. So saving up.
Yeah.
And try to do more of the store videos, because even we as collectors or lovers of games, we don't see a lot of Japanese stores that have been filmed. Only the big franchises like the Book-Offs or the bigger stores like Suragaya or Fox. But there are smaller card shops. There are a lot, and I mean a lot of them in Japan.
Really? Okay.
It's like Akihabara, you walk in as random buildings. I found 3 different card stores in 3 different levels of the same building.
Wow. Okay.
Which didn't have anything connected. There were just 3 loose game stores.
Wow.
Yeah, so I want to bring that more to the public. Because of my love to share this kind of geeky stuff and that snurf stuff, everything.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, and Japan is one of the places where I'm yet to visit as well. That's something that I've wanted to do for a long time as well. Hopefully there is a big Flesh and Blood event there next year, which will incentivize not only myself but a lot of people to potentially go make the trip finally as well. But as you mentioned, yeah, there's a lot of hidden gems in Japan that don't necessarily get the light shined on them. So hopefully we can capture that as well in the future.
One of the funny things is like, sorry to interrupt you, but the funny thing is the Battle Hard in Tokyo got sold out in 2 hours.
Exactly, yeah. I imagine the calling probably would as well, I imagine.
Yeah, the calling, I'm going to keeping up the whole night to just get a ticket.
Yeah.
And then there's the second question, if I'm able to fly to it, is just another question.
Oh god, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, for us European folk, it's quite an expensive trip, but but yeah, hopefully that'll all come to pass next year, and it's good to see the Asia scene in general growing massively as well. Singapore as well, Southeast Asia is a big place for Fab. Obviously the Calling Taipei is happening, which I mentioned earlier. That's looking pretty good. A lot of people going from the sort of Oceania region as well, like Australia. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's episode. Thanks very much for tuning in. Thanks for joining us, Andres, and hopefully we'll do it all over again for another random video in the future as well. So until next time, thanks very much.
Thanks, man. Cheers.
Cheers.